The Bet. By Anton Chekhov. Summary. Anton Chekhov's The Bet revolves around a debate between a banker and a lawyer about whether life imprisonment is more humane than the death penalty. The lawyer bets he can endure 15 years of solitary confinement, and the banker offers 2 million rubles if he succeeds. During his isolation, the lawyer initially indulges in wine and books but later immerses himself in self-education, studying languages, philosophy, and religion. Over time, he realizes the futility of material wealth and the transient nature of human desires. On the final night, the bankrupt banker plans to kill the lawyer to avoid paying the money. However, he discovers a letter in which the lawyer renounces the bet, rejecting materialism and leaving just before his term ends. Overcome with guilt, the banker hides the letter. The story critiques human greed and highlights the transformative power of self-reflection and knowledge. About the author. Anton Chekhov, 1860–1904, was a renowned Russian playwright and short story writer, widely regarded as one of the greatest masters of modern literature. Born in Taganrog, Russia, Chekhov initially pursued a career in medicine, becoming a qualified doctor. Despite his medical profession, he gained fame for his literary works, which often explored the human condition with subtlety, irony, and a deep understanding of human nature. Chekhov's short stories, such as The Bet and The Lady with the Dog, are celebrated for their brevity, emotional depth, and innovative narrative techniques. As a playwright, his works like The Cherry Orchard, Uncle Vanya, and The Seagull revolutionized modern theater, introducing a naturalistic style that focused on character development over plot. Chekhov's writing is marked by a keen observation of everyday life and a compassionate portrayal of human struggles. Though he died young from tuberculosis, his legacy continues to influence literature and theater worldwide. Question 1. Read the extracts and answer the questions. Extract 1. On a dark autumn night, the old banker paced in his study, recalling a party he had hosted 15 years ago. His guests at the party had an interesting conversation, speaking about capital punishment. Question 1. Why did the old banker pace in his study? Answer. The old banker paced in his study because he was troubled by his financial ruin and regretted the reckless bet he had made 15 years ago. He felt guilt and fear over the possibility of losing everything if the lawyer claimed the money. Question 2. What was the topic under discussion in the party? Answer. The topic under discussion at the party was whether capital punishment or life imprisonment was more humane and morally justifiable. This sparked a debate among the guests. Question 3. What was the opinion of the majority of guests on the topic? Answer. The majority of the guests believed that capital punishment was more moral and humane than life imprisonment because it ended suffering quickly rather than prolonging it, sparing individuals from years of misery and hopelessness. Extract 2. The next morning the watchman told him that he saw the man who lived in the wing climb through the window into the garden. He had disappeared from the gate. Question 1. Who was the man who climbed through the window and disappeared? Answer. The man who climbed through the window and disappeared was the lawyer, who had spent 15 years in voluntary confinement as part of the bet with the banker. He left just before the 15 years ended. Question 2. Why was the man living in the wing? Answer. The man was living in the wing of the banker's house as part of the wager, where he was required to live in complete isolation for 15 years without any human contact. Question 3. Why did the man do what he did? Answer. The man renounced the money and left before the time was up to show his disdain for material wealth and prove that his spiritual growth and understanding of life were far more valuable than the 2 million rubles. Answer the following questions in 3 to 4 sentences. Question A. Which form of punishment would the young lawyer prefer if he was given a choice? Why? Answer. The young lawyer thought that both life imprisonment and capital punishment were equally immoral, but if given a choice, he would choose life imprisonment. This is because according to him it was better to live somehow than not to live at all. Question B. How was the lawyer's conduct in the first 2 years of his imprisonment? Answer. In the first year, the lawyer suffered from loneliness and boredom. The piano could be heard day and night. He was sent novels, criminal stories, fantasies, and comedies. In the second year, piano was not heard and the lawyer only asked for classics to read. Question C. Why did the lawyer decide to violate the agreement? Answer. The term of the bet was 15 years. About to come to an end. 15 years ago, the lawyer, hungry for wealth, had placed the bet to satisfy his ego and get money. However, during his time in isolation, he had grown much wiser through books. Thus, he decided to violate the agreement. Question D. Why did the banker go to the lawyer the night before the end of the prison term? Answer. The banker had more debts than money. Gambling, risky speculations, and recklessness have decayed his business. The lawyer was about to win the bet. He had no money to pay the lawyer, thus he wanted to kill the lawyer and go to him the night before the end of his prison term. Question E. How did the banker feel after reading what was written on the page? Answer. The banker intended to kill the lawyer, however, when he read what was written on the page, he was overwhelmed with emotions. He felt very guilty. He kissed the lawyer's forehead, went out of the room and began to weep. Never before, he had felt such contempt for himself such as now. Question F. So this ridiculous bet was set. Explain. Answer. So this ridiculous bet was set. This statement is made by the narrator and indicates the setting of a rather stupid and unreasonable bet between the banker and the lawyer. The bet is described as ridiculous as it held the lawyer's 15 years of life at stake. According to the bet, the lawyer had to stay in confinement for a stipulated time period. Answer the following questions briefly. Question A. What did the banker feel about the bet he had made 15 years ago? Answer. At the beginning of the story, the old banker, thinking about the bet he had made 15 years ago, is seen pacing in his study room. This indicates that the banker was very tense. He had staked $2 million to the lawyer, which he was on the verge of losing. The banker regretted setting the bet as his then current situation was way worse than that 15 years ago. Gambling, risky speculations, and recklessness had decayed his business. Question B. What were the essential conditions of the bet? Answer. According to the bet, the lawyer would undergo imprisonment of 15 years under the strictest observation in a garden wing of the banker's house. He could not cross the threshold, see living people, hear human voices, or receive letters and newspapers. He could have musical instruments, read books, and write letters. He could silently communicate with the outside world by sending a note. He had to remain exactly 15 years from 12 o'clock on the 14th of November, 1870 to 12 o'clock on the 14th of November, 1885. The least attempt on his part to violate the conditions freed the banker from the obligation to pay $2 million. Question C. In the light of the above story, do you think it is easy to give up wealth? Answer. No, I think it is not easy to give up wealth. In today's world, wealth is everyone's first priority. For a common man, like the lawyer was before his imprisonment, just like to him, wealth matters a lot. Especially if there is an easy way to get it, supposedly. However, through the influence of books, the lawyer grew much wiser, thus understanding that wealth is not everything. Thus, giving up his $2 million.
Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more updates.